Hi, it's Grant, Muenster Grass-Fed. Today I have the privilege of coming to Buck and Bull, visiting with Richard and his employees while they cut up a half, and I was really impressed by what I saw. More on that later, but right now Richard is going to give you an introduction of what we got here. This is a side of beef that we're looking at that he's already butchered.
We just finished cutting this beautiful meat, particularly for grass-fed meat. It is unusual to see grass-fed with marbling in your meat like this stuff. Grant's cattle from year to year have been getting even better with the meat and with the meat quality. I think he's been bringing in better genetics all the time, and so every year you're getting a better deal with your meat. So just to run through what you're getting on a half, we start from the front end of the cow. This of course is your brisket. For a lot of people, a whole brisket's going to be too much to eat, and so many times we'll go ahead and we'll cut this brisket in half. This customer wanted a whole brisket. Next here, we got our shoulder roasts. These shoulder roasts, they do make a pretty nice roast. There's typically going to be more flavour up the front end of your cow than up the back end of your cow. These shoulder roasts can also be made into steaks as well. I typically only cut them about 3/4 inch, but if you're looking for extra steaks, they can work for that, and they do eat pretty well. Of course, here's your short ribs. These can be done as tabletas, and I guess it should be said that any cut you don't want, it can be boned out, ground out, and end up in your hamburger. Next here we got your ribeyes, beautiful ribeyes here. These would have to be at least choice, I would imagine, but beautiful ribeyes. Our standard is to bone everything out, and so our standard is a boneless ribeyes like everything else. We can leave bone in if you like, but that's what they look like. Here we got the chuck roast, for those who like roast. Again, some pretty nice meat on these things, and we try to do a between 3 and 4 pound roast on average. Oh, sorry, this is your meaty soup bones. This comes off your shank of your cow, typically the front shank or back shank, but that, if you like meaty soup bones, that works for that. This cut here is one that you may not have heard about before. This is the bavette. Most people grind this, which is sin. This is another skirt that comes off the flank region of the cow. This is very soft meat. Majority of times, this is the flank, this is the skirt, this is the bavette, these three pieces. The majority of times we're going to go ahead and we're going to tenderize the flank and tenderize the skirts, and then these bavettes, though this is soft enough meat, we do not tenderize it, but this can go into your fajita meat and meals like that, just the same as like your skirts and your flank. Next we've got your sirloin steak. We do a true sirloin, so it's seamed out, and so it's more like the sirloin you're going to buy at a store. Grant's cows are big, and so this is going to be maybe bigger than some of the ones at the store, but that's why you buy from Grant. Your filet. Now, if you ever want T-bones, a T-bone is made of the bone in the middle, the New York strip on one side, the filet on the other side. That is a T-bone. Only problem with T-bones is that these two meats are very different. And so we typically are going to do our New York strips at 1 inch, our fillets at 1.5 inches. These people want a 2 inch. If you're doing the T-bones, when you go to cook those, because that meat is so different, the best you can do is cook one side of the bone well or both sides badly. So I tend to lean towards a strip and fillet. This here, California special. This is your tri-tip. Again, most places don't take this off. We take it off as a standard cut, and it does eat pretty well. You can put that thing on the grill, slice it kind of thin, kind of like roast kind of cuts. If you like rump roast, this is rump roast here. For a lot of people, this is a take it or leave it roast, but you know, if you like it, that's a good cut. This here is the top of the round. The majority of times, this thing gets made into cutlets, like for chicken fried steak. So we'll slice this about maximum 3/4 inch, half to 3/4 inch. Then it'll go through the tenderizer. This is what will make chicken fried steak. Another option on this is to turn this into London broil. And with London broils, we're going to cut around about a 2-inch steak, and you go ahead and you want to marinate that thing and then cook it on the grill to maximum of medium in the middle. It doesn't have a lot of fat in it. If you cook it too much, that thing's going to dry out. It's going to be like eating dirt. But you marinate it right, cook it good, slice it like roast. This actually eats really well and is a good way to eat your round. This here is your sirloin tip. Your sirloin tip, majority of times, is going to go into chicken fried steak. So we'll again slice it about half to 3/4 inch thick, and then run it through the tenderizer. Last but not least, this is the picanha. The picanha, in my opinion, is second best cut on the cow after the ribeye. Then again, that's my opinion. The Brazilians are going to shoot you to get this deal. I highly recommend you get this cut when you do it. We give it to you whole. You can do different things with it. I've heard of guys putting this thing on the smoker until all the smoke and fat gets in it, then they'll slice it into little steaks and finish it on the grill. You can do that thing like a brisket. It's a lot better meat than a brisket. It's tender meat. You can go ahead and just cut this thing into steaks, and it'll cook great just as a steak. It's a great cut. But and then finally, we've got your hamburger here. So this is probably going to be, it'll be, I'm going to guess, I bet that's 70, 80 pounds of hamburger, probably more like 80. We do our hamburger, we try to get it to about 90-10 with meat to fat ratio. I like to have the hamburger to where you've got a little bit of fat left in your pan after you've cooked. You don't need to swim in the stuff. You just got to have plenty of fat in there to be able to cook. And at this consistency and this ratio, your hamburger typically comes out great. Everything we do here is custom, so we can adjust it to however you want it. And when you get a cow with Grant, what we prefer to do is to have actually talk to you in person so that we can walk you through your cow individually and to get it exactly how you want it. We don't necessarily have a standard format, but this way you can get bone in, bone out. As I said, our standard is bone out, so there's no extra charge for that. We use the saw very little, so you don't have to deal with bone dust in your meat. And all your meat is vacuum sealed. And the meat that is vacuum sealed, as long as you look after them, those vacuum seals, I've eaten meat 2 years after it's gone into the freezer, and it'll eat like the first day, and so it'll keep forever. Anyhow, that's your cow. Thanks for watching. Oh, all right, last but not least, if you would like snack sticks, we make these snack sticks. These things eat extremely well. These are ready, they're just ready to be vacuum sealed. But it's an additional thing that we offer, but a lot of people get them. It's a great snack. I have problems keeping them on my shelf because my grandkids come and they tax me pretty hard. So I've heard you want to hide those from some people. Don't eat them all at one time. Anyhow, thanks very much. Appreciate you watching. Thanks, Grant.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Richard. We appreciate you.